All right, welcome wine lovers, winos, and the curious to week 6 of our spring wine series. And this week I'm here at Sal's Ballyhoo's in Key Largo. I've known Chef Sal Barrios for over 20 years. We actually had the pleasure of working, I actually had the pleasure of working with him at the iconic Marker 88 restaurant in Isla Dorada 20 years ago. And that restaurant has such a rich history. I'm actually going to be doing a tasting with the former proprietor, Chef Andre Mueller, who put that place on the map. He's an amazing man, and we're going to get a chance to drink some Bordeaux coming up in the next week or two. So keep your eye out for that. But like I was saying, we're on week 6 of the wine series, and our focus is to bring wines to your attention that normally you might not be drinking, that work really well this time of year. And this week we're doing Rioja. So red Riojas are amazing wines. They rival the ageability of Bordeaux, and there's actually more than just reds. They do have whites and rosés and sparkling wines there, but it's probably the most iconic wine region in Spain. So we're going to be diving in, tasting, talking about that, and I'm at Ballyhoo's here, which we're going to be trying some really fun food to pair with this. Now, normally you think Spain, you think tapas, things like that, but for the wine series, what we're really trying to do here, what I'm really trying to show you, is that there's so many different things that you can have with a great wine like Rioja. And normally you would think grilled meats, roasted vegetables, cheeses, even paella. And we're going to be trying a few different things here that are a little different and having a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to first jump into a little bit of the history of Rioja. Rioja is in northern Spain, and it's an exceptional wine made from the grape Tempranillo. Now, Tempranillo, similar to Cabernet, is a thick-skinned grape. It's a little bit larger, so it's not quite as dense and heavy, but it does have good coloration from the skins. And it really has a reputation of being as age-worthy as Bordeaux. I've had some that have been 20 plus years old that have been really remarkable. So that's pretty exciting in itself, to have a grape or have a style of wine that rivals Bordeaux in a different region and not made with Cabernet. Now, generally they will blend Grenache, Carignan, sometimes Monastrell, even white grapes like Rioja with the Tempranillo to balance it out. The one we're going to be drinking today is 100% Tempranillo, and it's a Reserva, and we'll talk about that a little bit too. There's different grades of Tempranillo, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that too. So we're going to have some fun with that, and let me flip the script here and go on to the types of Rioja. So this is our education part, so bear with me. We'll be tasting a little bit and talking pretty soon. There's basically 4 classifications when you get to Rioja. There's Joven, which is the young wines, or it's actually a generic term. There's no real aging requirements for something just called Rioja. Then you have Crianza, and the Crianza wines are the ones that are aged for at least 2 years and 1 year in oak barrels. You step up to the next level, which is Reserva, and that means they've been aged for 3 years, 1 year in oak barrels, and at least 6 months in the bottle before it's released after that. And then you go to Grand Reserva, and that's aged for a total of 5 years, and that's 2 years in oak and 2 years in a bottle before it's released. So You'll see them in the store. Obviously, the pricing goes up as you go from the regular Riojas to Crianzas to Reservas to Grand Reservas. So if you did get the emails or you saw us earlier in the week on Facebook, Instagram, and you bought yourself a bottle, I welcome you to open it up right now. I opened mine about 45 minutes ago, and I'm going to be tasting that right now next. The one I'm drinking is a Fabinha Alberti, and it is a Reserva 2019 vintage. Like I said before, it's 100% Tempranillo, which you don't see a lot of that. You do see some sometimes, but not always. And it's, like we said, we're going to look at this wine. Now, as I'm looking at this 2019, it's a nice dark garnet color. It does have a little bit of a red hue into it, which means it's reaching its maturity level. And I'm going to stick my nose in here and we'll start tasting it a little bit, seeing what we got. And you're more than welcome to leave any comments if you're trying yours. Shoot us, let us know what you're doing and how your wine is, any questions you have, stuff we can answer. Now I'm getting a little bit of red plum in this.
Or you might have to come to that one.
A little bit of raspberry, more black raspberry actually. It's got a little bit of a caramel note to it. A little bit of it's got a little toasty note to it from the oak. I mean, normally you're going to get things like berry notes, vanilla. Actually, there is some vanilla. I definitely get some vanilla bean on that. And vanilla, and I'm talking about that, vanilla generally can be a characteristic of coming from American oak barrels, which this wine actually, like what I talked about, it is all Tempranillo. The vines, according to their website, are all 40-year-old vines that spends 1 year in new American oak, and then the second year is in a 3 wine barrel, which I'm assuming is a barrel that has had 3 wines aged in it, so it tends to give it a more subtle flavor to it and let the oxygen and wood, it's not primarily a wood note to it, it's going to be more oxygenized. And I mean, this wine definitely has a lot of complexity to it. I'm pretty excited about taking a little taste of it here. Definitely deep berries in this. I would say ripe raspberry notes. A little spicy. As far as the alcohol level on this, it's 14%, so it's not super high for a red, but it's definitely not light like a like you see some Pinot Noirs that tend to be a little bit on the 13.2. This one's 14%, so it's definitely a nice balance of alcohol, fruit, spice notes, the oak. This is just a very well balanced wine. Drinking very well. Obviously, it's 6 years old, 2019 vintage. This wine is really well balanced, really nice. I'm excited to try it. We're going to be trying it with some food here in a little bit. Talk a little bit about Sal's Ballyhoo's here. So, like I said, Chef Sal and I worked together 20 years ago at Marker 88 Restaurant, which is a restaurant right on the water down here in Islamorada in the Florida Keys. And just a amazing experience there. We went through a lot of different things there. I had the opportunity to design the largest wine program in all of the Keys. The Stokey family was very supportive of what I was doing there. We were able to train the staff exceptionally well. We did a lot of fun wine dinners. I created the beer versus wine dinner there, a charity event, where I brought in a brewer and a wine specialist, and they each paired a wine or a beer with each course in a 5-course meal, and we actually let everybody vote and see what they thought was a better pairing, which was a real eye-opener. It was right at the time when craft beer was really starting to hit South Florida, so we had an opportunity to really open people's eyes and let them know that beer paired well too with things, as well as bringing some fun wines to the table that we're able to showcase. So that was a lot of fun. Like I said, Chef Andre Mueller next door. I'll go through a little history of that restaurant because we will be doing a tasting there not probably within the next couple months. And I will be talking with Chef Andre Mueller, who really put that restaurant on the map. He was the second proprietor there. I believe he took it over around 1977. And within the next 10 years, he had presidents coming there and staying. He really remarkable time. Nice wine program there at the time. He's European, so a lot of French influenced red and white selections, Burgundy, Bordeaux. But he did an exceptional job there, so that was a lot of fun. And I got to be part of that after the Stokey family took it over, and that was a really amazing experience in my life. So that was a lot of fun. And where are we going to go next with this? So we've got some food coming out here shortly. I'm going to talk a little bit about this place. Talked about Marker 88, but let's talk about Sal's Ballyhoo's. Now, Ballyhoo's restaurant is I call it a Southern kitchen. A lot of Southern influenced foods. If you look at the menu, you're going to see fried pink tomatoes, boiled peanuts, Betty's chicken sandwich, pimento grilled cheese, Southern style Cobb salad. So you're going to see those influences, those Southern influences on the menu. And then you're going to see the worldly influences. You're going to see chicken and shrimp curry, New Orleans barbecued shrimp, gumbos, tuna poke, key lime seafood pasta, just a variety of different things. We've got a South American churrasco on the menu here, and I'm going to be pairing this wine like we had talked about. What's fun is that you think tapas with Rioja, obviously, but how often are you eating tapas? You're eating a lot of different foods, and what I've got a chance to do here And the reason why I selected Sal's Ballyhoo's as the host today for the Rioja was because I'm going to pair it up with a churrasco steak salad. So I'm going to get that South American steak, marinated steak, and all the accompaniments that go with the salad. I'm going to do it with a crab cake like you would do with paella, just to see how, and I'll be able to describe a little bit to you, how the seafood will actually work with a red wine, because it doesn't have the harsh tannins. You can pair a Rioja with a paella, with all those different things. It's got the sausage, the chicken, all the shrimp, everything that's in it. So we'll be doing that, and Sal has a nice vegan, vegetarian options for his customers, and I'm gonna try the sweet potato burger today, which is going to be a lot of fun, because I think this is going to work pretty well with this wine. Something that you don't really see and don't really expect, but it's going to be fun. And like I said, the restaurant here is just really like Southern Kitchen meets world cuisine. A lot of fun. They're just getting started here, so I'm going to try to get my food and get things going here. If you get a chance, leave me a message on down below about any questions you have. We're going to try to answer those. A couple shows ago, we were talking a little bit about how to actually taste wine and how to really accentuate the wine in your mouth when you're trying it. And what I always recommend is, when you taste the wine, don't just swish it around in your mouth like it's mouthwash. You don't really want to spread the tannins and the acids all over your mouth. You really want to bring the wine into the front of your mouth and draw air into it. And that's really what's going to help you bring all the nuances to the olfactory bulb in your nose and help you understand. You know, when us sommeliers start talking about, the thyme and the spice and this fruit and that fruit nuances, and people take a taste of it, they say, it tastes sour. So, well, that's generally because they're not getting the full effect of the wine. So, a little quick tasting course here. Take the wine, put it in your mouth, draw the air through it. I'm going to get real close so you can hear it, and then swallow the wine and see see the nuances you get. It's going to be night and day from what you've already tasted. So, I've had people that I've taught this to, and I've been teaching for over 30 years. And I've had people say, I've been drinking wine for a long time, and no one ever taught me that. I never realized how you could really understand, and they thought it was just a bunch of BS, propaganda, when they would read a description of a wine saying it has these flower notes and these spice notes and this, raspberry and cherry and et cetera, and it's true. It really is. You can get those nuances out of these wines, but you got to be able to taste it properly. So I hope everybody's out there tasting it properly. We got the food coming out shortly, and we'll start seeing what happens here. What's Chef doing there?
He's working on it.
He's got it? Got me coming? All right, that's awesome. And I'm going to give it take a little break here for 1 minute and talk a little bit about if you or anyone you know wants to learn more about beer and wine. go to our website, AGGC, A Grape Guy Consulting, .info, aggc.info, and sign up for our Raise the Bar Beer and Wine Foundation course. It's a course that I've been teaching for 30 years to restaurant and bar employees to help them learn the foundation of beer and wine so they can help describe it to guests. You know, a lot of times in our business, we teach them about the food. You know, the chef comes out and he tells them about everything that's in it and be able to describe it and get our staff's comfortable with showing how the food is created and everything about it. But we naturally assume that they know something about beer and wine, and then we might start giving them, you know, I've talked over staff's heads plenty of times because I thought that they realized the difference between, you know, a Cabernet and a Pinot Noir. But realistically, some of them don't know the difference between a Chardonnay and a Cabernet, you know, a red and a white wine when they start. So I developed this program to start giving them the foundation, getting them comfortable with learning how beer and wine is made, all the different varieties of beer, all the different varieties of wine, all different varieties of grape that is used, all the different styles of beer that you see, whether it's Belgian style, it's wheat beers, it's IPAs, it's amber ales, it's brown ales, all that fun stuff. But it's stuff that's, you know, once you learn the basics of it, then the world truly opens up for you. And like I said, I've been teaching it for 30 years now, and I love it. I've had a lot of fun with it, and it's just something that can enhance your life. So if you want to learn more, or you know somebody, let's say you've got a friend, here's another great thing. So I have friends who are wine snobs and they collect wines, and they're like, well, you know, I got my friends over this weekend and I've got this great bottle, but I don't want to share it with them because they don't know anything. You know, they might as well be gargling with it. Well, I get it, but let's do something and let's get them educated. So let them take the course. It's inexpensive. It's $19. It takes about an hour to do to get the foundation down. So if you'd like to take it, or you don't want to buy one for a friend, you can gift it to them. Go to aggc.info and go to the section for wine enthusiasts and buy it for your friend. So now it's dinner time. So I'm starting with the churrasco steak. I'm going to show this thing off because it's pretty amazing. So it's a churrasco steak salad here at Charles Valley Hoop. And I need to get a fork. All right, so we're going to get this thing going here, and I mean, it smells terrific, very herbal. So I'm going to try it first with the steak. Now the steak totally tones down the fruitiness and the herbal qualities of the wine because of the churrasco and the chimichurri sauce that's on there, the chimichurri marinade. So that's pretty fantastic right there in itself. I'm going to take some of the herbs next on my next bite, and if you're in the Upper Keys, you're looking for a good steak salad, this is the way to go. Now when I added the chimichurri in there, I'm getting the fruit back more because it's subduing the herbal qualities of the wine and the oak and changing it again. Now I've got a little let's see what this is all about. Got a little dressing on here I'm going to hit it with next. With their house, it's kind of a dense Italian dressing.
Inside a little cooler. Anybody who has like
Every different bite of the salad changes the wine, which has been just fantastic. So I'm really excited about moving on, trying this. I could sit there and eat the whole thing, but I've got more food coming out, so I'm going to move over to that next. But one more time with the steak. So the next thing I talked about was the paella and Rioja red wine, and how that really, when you think about it, it shouldn't work, but it does. And I'm going to take one of these low country crab cakes, and we're going to see how this works with the red wine. So this is what I've got up next. See it there. Those blend very well together. A lot of times what happens is the tannins in the wine conflict with any of the oils of a fish or seafood. In this case, there's really no real clash. This has a lot of crab in it. It's not a lot of breading. It also has a mustard sauce, which I'm going to try next. So I'm going to try the crab cake with the mustard sauce, and then I'm going to go back to the wine and see how we did with that. Once again, the wine is changing. The mustard sauce really kind of kills off the heat of the wine and the oakiness of it. So I'm getting just some fruit flavors underneath and a little bit of herb, not too much. Very good crab cake. So if you are here, if you're in the area, come check it out. I don't know if I showed you, but you can see chunks of crab all through there. Pretty amazing. Magnificent. Giving Chef Sal props on that one. I'm gonna have to have one more bite before I go to the next item. Now the third item, and this is the one thing I thought would be a lot of fun, was the sweet potato burger. I don't even know how you do that, but it was very intriguing, and I'm pretty excited about trying this. So I talked to Chef about it, and he said, you know, he thought it would be a fun one to have, and also for a lot of people who are out there who are vegan, vegetarian, to be able to try something fun like this. I mean, it's a good size patty. You know, you're not messing around. And it's got a little spicy jalapeno jam, which I'm going to hold off on for a minute. According to the menu, we've got sweet potatoes, white beans, tahini, and a little bit of spiciness. So I'll give it a shot right here. This one brings out a lot more of the fruit flavors in it. The white beans, the spice, and the sweetness of the sweet potato cut down on the oak essence of it. Very good, fun one. So if you're vegetarian, vegan, and you're looking for somewhere to have something really kind of fun, he's got quite a few items on his menu that would be appealing. You know, there's obviously boiled peanuts. What was the other thing I saw here that was really caught my eye? The pimento grilled cheese and tomato soup would be a great item for it. The sweet potato burger. The I saw a couple other things here. The fried pink tomatoes. Obviously the salads are incredible. Black bean soup, I believe, is vegetarian. So, got some fun things here for you to work on if you're in the neighborhood. I'm going to dip into this jalapeno jam and see what happens. Makes the wine very, very earthy. Obviously it's a jam, it's got sugar, it's got a little spice to it. It doesn't blow it away though. I mean, a lot of times if you're having a sweet, spicy jam with a red wine, it totally kills the wine, totally walks right over top of it. This is a different story. But just a lot of fun. I mean, when you look at the sweet potato white bean burger, delicious. So we're going to start wrapping it up here on week 6. We'll be coming back again next week. We're doing some more traveling. See you around. We've got some guests lined up for the next few weeks. And we'll be meeting again with more sommeliers, local chefs, other hospitality professionals, some wine reps, distributors, things like that. Different people to have on here. So you just don't have to listen to me ramble on about things. And just have some fun, learn some things, and go from there. So this was Rioja today. Hope you learned a little bit. Hope you had some fun watching. And I will see you again next week at aggc.info.